Building trust in relationships. 1. Be predictable. A lot of people crave surprise and spontaneity, but the strongest relationships are those which are stable. It is essential for you to establish some uniformity regardless of how boring it sounds, because it builds trust. Presenting an intricate puzzle can be a lot of work, but when your partner is able to predict your next move, it promotes familiarity and security. 2. Always keep your promises. When you say that you are going to do something, do it. There is no such thing as a small promise, because something so simple can mean so much to your partner. If you cannot follow through with your promises, tell your partner face to face and offer them an explanation. 3. Show loyalty. Loyalty is a very good show of faith, and by showing complete loyalty to your partner you are expressing your high regard for them, despite the costs. Loyalty and solidarity are of great value in a relationship. If you can display loyalty, it will be much easier for your partner to trust you. 4. Get to know your partner. It is not going to be easy for you to trust a stranger, but when you know someone inside out, you can put your life in that person's hands and not worry. The same should be true for a relationship. You should get to know the person you are with so that you can trust each other completely. This, of course, would mean facing up to each other's past, beliefs, ideals and principles. 5. Learn to speak from your heart. It is not always easy to tell the truth, especially when giving news that may not be received very well, but if you want to build trust, you cannot lie. Learn to speak from your heart, especially if you have bad news. Telling the truth, whether the message is good or bad, will resonate with your partner. 6. Treat your partner as you would like to be treated. Do unto others what you want others to do unto you. This is an important commandment of God to His people in the Bible. In relationships, keeping that in mind means loving another person the same as you love yourself. If both of you are sensitive to this, trust will be fortified and it will be harder to break. 7. Always have your partner's best interests at heart. This also goes along with knowing your partner in depth and knowing what is best for them. Your partner will know if you are concerned about their needs, and this will make them realize that they can rely on you, count on you and trust you. This will encourage them to become more vulnerable in your presence and therefore more trusting. 8. Be around. Presence is always good for relationships. The same is true even if you are having a long-distance relationship, because time and presence does not necessarily mean physical presence anymore. When you are willing to make time for the person you love, even if you are busy, you show your partner that they are important. 9. Display good moral ethic. When a person is strong enough to maintain a good character at all costs, it is easier for you to put your trust in that person. Sometimes it's not easy to stick to your morals when faced with the reality of the cruel world, but someone who can remain pure and strong is someone whom you can truly trust. 10. Be a reliable partner. A good partner is someone who you can rely on to be there not just for the good times, but especially for the bad times. There is no way for you to know when you will need someone, but when you feel secure that you can completely rely on someone when you are in need, trust is built. 11. Make your partner your number one priority in life. A lot of people, especially those who are married, forget to make their spouses their priority. This is especially true when there are children in the way, because they automatically take up a couple's time. Never let this happen. Despite how busy you may be, show your partner that they are still number one in your life. 12. Respect your partner's privacy. This may contradict trust and be inconsistent with what is being said here over and over, but understand that you can give your trust, but you cannot demand trust. If your partner chooses to be private, give them time to ease into the relationship. Do not violate your partner's privacy just because you think you are entitled to it. Wait for your partner to learn to trust you and open up. Everyone works at their own pace. You may be fast, and your partner may be slow, so be patient. 13. Put God in the center of your relationship. God is love, and faith in a superior being often brings things into perspective, especially where relationships and beliefs are concerned. God calls for man and woman to devote their lives to each other, and when both believe in this, trust will be at its strongest. 14. Empathize with your partner. It is always important for you to learn to put yourself in your partner's shoes so you can avoid making judgments. Empathize with what your partner is going through, and this will build trust. For instance, if you think your partner is too stressed at work, make sure to offer them relaxing activities and opportunities upon returning from work. 15. Grow together. All relationships start small and then blossom. Never be content with a stagnant relationship that is going nowhere. Always aspire to grow in love, respect, care, and trust. Always try to be better for each other, because if you do, it means you respect and trust your partner. 16. Do not be afraid to say no. A lot of relationships see failure because one becomes a mere passenger and loses interest in taking part. Relationships are partnerships, so don't be afraid to say no when it is what you need to say. Learning to say no is being honest, and honesty builds trust. 17. Give selflessly. Some people give, but they give only when they know they will get something in return. Similarly, others do good only when they know there will be a personal gain in the end. This kind of giving is not true generosity, it is conditional, and it should have no place in your relationship. If you want to show your partner how worthy you are of trust, learn to give selflessly. Be generous to others without considering the results. Help because it is needed, not because it will make you feel good about yourself. 18. Be willing to work at the relationship. No relationship is ever easy. All relationships demand hard work, and if you wish to build a relationship, you should be willing to work. When both of you share the work, trust is strengthened and the partnership grows fruitfully. 19. Do not insist on double standards. This is a common problem in most relationships. People choose to be unforgiving of the shortcomings of their partner, and yet in return expect so much patience and forgiveness from their partner. Judgment should always equal, and there should be no double standards. A trustworthy partner is one who can forgive as much as be forgiven, can give as well as receive, and can err just as often as the other partner. 20. Be your partner's cheerleader. Whatever endeavor your partner has decided to undertake, you will need to be 100% supportive. Having faith in your partner's capacity to achieve victory means that you believe in them. Any expression of doubt will mean you do not trust that your partner will be successful, and in return, your partner's trust in you will waver. 21. Show other people how much you love your partner. It is not always desirable to create controversy and bring attention to yourself, but bold moves such as professing your love in public often make your partner feel very special. Always make room for surprises like this in the relationship, because it helps bring you nearer to each other. 22. Actively avoid temptation. Don't avoid temptation because you think you are weak, but rather avoid temptation because you do not want to put yourself in a compromising position. This may mean taking your partner with you on a trip, to a dinner, or to a gathering. Invitations extended to spouses exist for this purpose. 23. Be yourself. A pretentious relationship is a relationship that is not built on trust. When you are in a relationship, you cannot take on a persona that you think is going to work best if this is not your own personality. Pretending is dishonesty, and you can lose your partner's trust if you continue on this course. 24. Treat each other like precious treasure. Treasures are items you take good care of. You handle precious things with much delicacy and thoughtfulness because you want to preserve them. If you trust your partner and you want your partner to trust you in return, you must treasure them. Nothing says love more than feeling precious. 25. Be an open book. Being an open book in the relationship means so many things, but most of all it means you hide nothing. Your cell phone, your email and your appointment book will be free for your partner to look into. There should be transparency in this area, and through this, respect and trust will be formed. 26. Allow your partner to be themselves. Never force your partner to be what you want them to be. Do not dictate how your partner has to talk, walk, dress or whatever. Respect the person they are, because forcing your partner to be someone else means you do not respect and trust them. On the other hand, allowing your partner to be themselves, however silly and stupid they may be, will mean that you trust and accept them wholeheartedly. 27. Always mean what you say. A lot of people think that they can say whatever they want to say without meaning it. They fail to realize that there are other things that can give away the truth: body language, facial expressions, delivery, tone of voice and so forth. If you do not mean what you are saying, you will give off signs that will reveal the truth, so always mean what you say. 28. Be ready to conquer the ugly together. It may be a personal or partnership struggle you have to go through, but whatever it is, go through it hand in hand. Do not flee at the first sign of discomfort. Instead, show your partner that you are there, through thick and thin, through sickness and health, until death do you part. 29. Embrace positivity. Never leave room for negativity in a relationship because it can easily bring both of you down and cause trouble. Instead, embrace positivity in the relationship so that trust can live comfortably in the partnership. 30. Know your partner's language of love. People understand love in different ways, and as a partner it is your duty to know what your partner needs and expects of you, so that you can give it. The different languages of love are acts, words, gifts, touch and time. Some people need all of it, but some will need one or two of these more than the others. Trust is built successfully when love is allowed to grow. If you have a poor understanding of what your partner needs, you could easily be giving in excess of what they don't need. 31. Trust your partner's friends and companions. Sometimes people say, "I trust you, but I do not trust the people you are with." Understand that saying this means that you don't believe entirely in your partner's capacity to make judgments independent of those of others. If you do not trust your partner just because you do not like their friends, you will lose their trust. 32. Never grow tired of saying, "I love you," to your partner. Words may just be words, and some say that words do not matter, but being assured can often feel good. Vocalize your love in different ways and never get tired of saying and showing it. Never assume that your partner knows it. 33. Talk to your partner about a crush. If you know people who you feel attracted to, in whatever way or vice versa, communicate this with your partner. Thinking that it is a useless thing to talk about may find you a few months or years later having to explain yourself. Man is made to feel attraction towards others. Do not keep it a secret, because this is where dangers are given a chance to happen. 34. Always reassure each other. Even when trust is there, it can fluctuate and waver at times, so it will be good for you to find ways to reassure each other of your trust. When you love someone, you stop at nothing to show that person security, safety, and love. Never grow tired of reassuring each other. 35. Trust your partner with your secrets. Everyone has secrets or things that they wish to remain private, but much of this will have to change when you commit to a partner. Secrets have no place in a relationship. Be courageous enough to open up to your partner and know that this transparency will be rewarded by trust. When you show your partner that you are willing to trust them, your partner will trust you too. Destroying trust in relationships. 36. Being caught in a lie. A lie, whether small or big, and whether for the benefit of your partner or not, is a lie all the same. Avoid lying to your partner because lies eventually get found out in the end and destroy trust. Disclose everything to your partner so that you can avoid complications with the truth in the future. 37. Being defensive. When someone is on the defensive, they usually have a reason for taking offense to something said and show violence and anger in an effort to protect themselves. Why should someone need to be defensive if they have nothing to hide? In other words, being defensive only means the presence of something hidden being close to revelation. You should be an open book in a relationship, at least to your partner, so that you have no reason to be defensive or fearful of being caught. 38. Disrespect. Disrespect is one of the most painful things you have to deal with from a partner. It goes beyond love, care, thoughtfulness and concern. When you respect someone, it is easier for you to do all the things that you have to do, whereas it is much more difficult to get past pain. When someone is able to disrespect their partner, the partner completely loses trust and asks themselves, why was he capable of hurting me this way? When this question is thrown out there, trust is already an issue. 39. Infidelity. One of the main reasons that trust is broken in a relationship is when one partner is unfaithful. In marriage or any kind of relationship between two people in love, both parties trust that the relationship is monogamous. Finding out that their partner has been unfaithful can be very hurtful and can really destroy a person's trust in their partner. 40. Being overly critical. Voicing your opinions is good, but if it is too much, it can be hurtful and damaging not only to your partner but to your relationship. Sometimes, being excessively critical of your partner can create cracks. It will make the other feel unloved and trust will dwindle away. 41. Sneaky acts. Sneaky acts can be either big or small. Despite the cause for the act, nothing should be done behind your partner's back because this is a betrayal worthy of distrust. Some people, for instance, will justify their acts and say it was for the good of their partner. If it is for their good, then there should be nothing wrong with them knowing, so there should be no point for secrecy. 42. Not actively taking part in the relationship. The relationship is a two-way street. You cannot merely exist and merely breathe the same air all the time. You are alive, so your partner needs to feel you. Living as a shadow in the relationship will give the impression of indifference. This will make your partner question your feelings about the relationship and sometimes leads to distrust. 43. Being too self-absorbed. In a relationship, there are two players, you and your partner. So you have to learn to look after both parties. Do not focus solely on your own happiness and satisfaction. Also, think of your partner's best interests because being too self-absorbed and self-centered often alienates your partner. This will of course cascade into a very negative outcome and eventually lead to trust issues. 44. Putting others before your partner. This is a common mistake that people make that often leads to distrust. When put in a situation, try your best to be neutral about things and as much as you can, always support your partner. When you make the mistake of siding with another, you will hurt your partner's feelings and things will get worse. 45. Being too cocky that your relationship needs no work. A lot of relationships fail because a person is stupid enough to assume things are okay and within their control, when the truth is that they have lost contact with their partner. If you think you do not have to work for your partner's trust, you are horribly wrong. Being in a relationship is being at work. When you are not working anymore, something is going wrong. 46. Masking the truth. In an effort to still remain truthful, some people are accustomed to twisting the truth so that they still feel honest, but this spoken version is obstructed, morphed, and lacks details. They do this because they feel they have to at least say something to their partner, even if it is not the complete truth, but they do not know that this will only complicate things. Making an effort to mask the truth shows more effort on your part to deceive, and it may be more hurtful to your partner. 47. Personal struggle gone out of control. Sometimes, a personal struggle can lead to the destruction of a relationship. You may not mean for this to happen, but struggles often put distance between two people, unless you make an effort to involve the other with what you are going through. Struggles can often be consuming, so you are left with nothing to give to your partner. As a result, you lose your partner and the relationship fails. 48. Being hostile, angry, and resentful all the time. This is just too much negative energy you are creating if you go on in this course on a daily basis. Life is too short for you to always find things to be mad about. If you are too abrasive, your partner will be walking on their toes, trying not to offend you, and that is a perfect example of loss of trust. 49. Immorality. A number of immoral acts, not necessarily on the subject of infidelity, can lead two people astray. Criminal acts, bad behavior, and other immoral activities estrange a person from their partner. It is sometimes difficult to love and trust a person when they are in trouble, and if the foundation of the relationship is not strong, things can falter. 50. Losing your credibility with your partner. Everyone usually starts with a blank slate, and this scoreboard is scarred and scarred until you lose your credibility altogether, due to the commission of sin against your partner. Once you lose your credibility and your partner finds no reason to believe you, there is no working through it, the trust is already destroyed. 51. Failing to keep a secret. Just as your secrets are sacred to you, your partner's secrets are of value as well. If a partner chooses to trust you with a secret, you need to take the responsibility of keeping it safe. Taking a partner's secret lightly means you do not take them seriously. This will hurt your partner, so trust will be destroyed. 52. Verbal and physical abuse. Loving a person means not being able to hurt that person, so if you are able to lay an abusive hand or word on someone you supposedly love, this is not love at all. Trust will be lost almost immediately when a person lays a finger on their partner. When one starts to fear the other, there is no trust. 53. Conflict with family. When you form a bond with somebody, understand that you are also welcoming your partner's family into your life. While there may be some people who are willing to defy family for their loved one, some people will still put their family first. Seeing their partner go against family can be viewed as disrespect, so you can lose trust in the relationship. 54. Loss of spirituality. One's spirituality often grounds a relationship. Belief in something bigger means that you trust your relationship with a higher power that judges, destroys, and blesses you. When one loses spirituality, everything else shatters with it and the relationship suffers. 55. Lacking trust in your partner. If you have very low trust in your partner, things can spiral down to the complete destruction of trust. If you have the tendency to get jealous and accusative without reasons, you poke holes into the relationship and make matters worse. 56. Making decisions without considering your partner. When you are in a relationship, you no longer exist as yourself but as a partnership. This means that even though you are expected to make decisions for yourself all the time, it is fitting for you to run these by your partner to avoid conflict. Your partner can easily feel betrayed and lose their trust in you if you take them for granted. 57. Neglect. If you are unable to make time and meet the needs of your partner, they will feel neglected. Neglect can be a deal breaker in many relationships, especially since you are supposed to exist as a whole. 58. Talking behind your partner's back. If you have something to say about your partner, the constructive way to go about it is to speak to them face to face. Going behind their back and talking about them to others is very wrong. Not only are you going to harm their relationships with other people, but if they find out what you are doing, they will feel betrayed and lose trust in you. 59. Series of lies. Sometimes, a partner chooses to forgive a mistake only to find out that they have been lied to, cheated and deceived once again. A series of lies can definitely break a person. Someone can only forgive up to a point. When this person has reached the end of the line, trust will be lost completely and the relationship will go along with it. 60. Lack of intimacy. Sex and intimacy play a big role in any romantic relationship. The bond that is formed between two people usually strengthens when an intimate moment is shared. If changes in the bedroom occur, these changes are found to translate outside of the room, and the relationship suffers. Often the partner begins to wonder what has happened and what has caused the change, then things get worse and fall into a deep pit. 61. Giving in to temptation. Everyone is tempted every once in a while, but if you are strong enough to go against temptation, you should never find yourself in trouble. If you are weak, you can end up hurting your partner and lose their trust completely. 62. Coldness. Some people become cold and indifferent to their partner because they are going through something on their own. Never allow your personal dilemmas affect your relationship. Being cold and reclusive will also increase the gap between you two, trust will surely deteriorate and the relationship will falter. 63. Taking your partner for granted. Never take your partner's needs, interests, emotions and beliefs for granted. Things may be trivial to you, but it may mean the world to your partner, so keep an open mind. When your partner begins to sense that you are not taking them seriously, they will resent you and trust will be destroyed. 64. Extreme jealousy. While displays of jealousy are sometimes healthy because they show love, a constant display of extreme and irrational jealousy can break relationships because you lose your partner's respect along the way. Showing extreme jealousy, it is like telling your partner that you do not trust them. This hurts your partner and destroys the relationship. 65. Being unrepentant. Making mistakes while in a relationship is natural. Some partners only need to see that you are apologetic for what has happened and they will be alright. When the offending party is unable to show repentance, trust can be destroyed between the two. 66. Jumping to conclusions. It is easy to draw a picture out of nothing. You can have one piece of the puzzle and complete it, but it will not exactly be the real picture. Doubts eat up people's sanity, and when doubts are fed and fueled, they can lead to bigger disasters. It is often best to just go straight to the source. Communicate your doubts to your partner instead of jumping to conclusions and getting the wrong picture altogether. 67. Taking credit for your partner's work. This does not happen often, but when romantic partners exist in the same industry or line of work, many relationships meet destruction because of this. Note that this is cheating and this is stealing, and not to mention deceiving the person whom you value most, which makes it 10 times more painful. A partner may let it go in front of people, but trust will fade. 68. Being self-righteous. It is said that he who has no sin cast the first stone. Since you cannot exactly declare that you have no sin, do not be self-righteous. You may be right, but you do not have to be proud, because that will make you wrong. Do not forget that you can make mistakes too, because if you do, your self-righteousness will fail you and you will lose your partner altogether. 69. Inability to listen. In a relationship, both people should learn to listen to each other. When one is talking, the other should listen, because much is learned in silence. You lend a listening and understanding ear to your partner when they have a problem, when they are in pain, and when they have a joke to share. Do not assume that your partner has nothing to say. Give them respect and give them the chance. 70. Inconsistency. In a relationship, you always have to be consistent. You cannot say something and then do the opposite because it will reflect poorly upon you. This does not mean that you cannot change your mind about something, but rather, it means that if you do change your mind, do not fail to warn your partner about your change of heart to avoid confusion between the two of you. Restoring trust in relationship. 71. Admit your lies. If you are trying to win the trust of your partner, one of the first things you have to do is to admit to lying and divulge all the details of the lie you committed. The impulse of most people is to deny the lie, even when they have already been caught. Lies break trust, and if you are thinking of rebuilding trust that was already lost, you should admit to lying and do it with humility. 72. Learn to love yourself again. After being hurt, the trauma can be quite damaging. It is actually normal for people to be reclusive and to have low self-esteem, so trusting your partner will not be easy, at least not right away. Before anything else, try to love yourself again. If you need to take some time away to heal and think of what has happened, do it. 73. Understand your partner. Before you make any rash decisions, pause for a while and put yourself in your partner's shoes. This can be very hard to do, but if you wish to save the relationship, take the time to understand your partner. After a betrayal, it is not exactly going to be easy to lend an understanding heart to your partner, but it starts there. Understanding how each other feel about the situation will help resolve even the most difficult issues. 74. Voice your emotions. This is important for both of you. The betrayal of trust comes from dishonesty, so make room for transparency of emotions if you wish to make things better. Remember through this course that you voice your emotions not to hurt. You voice your emotions in the spirit of honesty and transparency. This will both help you grow on your own and together, so that you can begin to trust each other again. 75. Explain your actions. After you have done something wrong, it is going to be hard for your partner to completely accept what has happened, but you will have to make them understand. Explaining your actions may seem bold and courageous, but it is that kind of boldness that will save your relationship. Why did you do it? What were you thinking? There are reasons why people make mistakes, and when these reasons are tackled and understood, it becomes easier for them to forgive what has happened. 76. Make an effort to correct what is wrong. Trust in the relationship is lost when someone does something deceitful. As the erring party, you can work on restoring trust by making an effort to show that you are willing to change, work and do all you can to make things happen. 77. Go on a couples retreat. A couples retreat is often a spiritual journey that a couple can take together with other couples. It is a vacation and counseling activity designed for couples, so that they can revisit what has been lost and hopefully build trust again. 78. Do not make excuses. Yes, maybe you have an excuse for what you did, but instead of wasting effort manipulating events and making it all about yourself, own up. Accept responsibility for your actions and show your partner that you are willing to do what it takes to earn their trust again. 79. Welcome suspicion with sincerity. You have made a mistake and you broke your partner's trust. It will take some time before they can trust you again. Through this course, you may encounter suspicions. Try to be patient with your partner during this time, and when suspicion is thrown at you, show that there is nothing to be worried about. Things will eventually be okay in the end, you just have to give it a little time. 80. Apologize sincerely. Some people find it very hard to say sorry because the word entails so much. To others, it is just a word and it can be said easily, without much meaning. If you wish to restore trust in your relationship, you have to acknowledge your faults and apologize for them. However rejected by your partner you feel, remain sincere with your efforts. Apologize until you have apologized enough to soften their heart. Only your sincerity will win your partner back. 81. Make a list of the things you love about your partner. You loved each other once before. How difficult is it to learn to love your partner again? Succeed in this by listing all the things you love about your partner, big or small, so that you can overcome the mistakes and learn to trust again. 82. Be grateful for the chance to start again. After a betrayal, it is normal for relationships to end right away, but some people will be given the chance to start again. If this is your case, be grateful. Show graciousness for the chance that was given to you because it is rare. Treat your partner's trust with care and do not throw it in their face by deceiving them again. 83. Remind yourself about the good parts of the relationship. At the failure of a relationship, it is going to be easy to choose the bad parts, and you will find a lot. This negative venture, however, is never going to do any good. Instead of focusing on the bad, embrace all the good memories you both shared together. This should help steer things around in the positive direction. 84. Communicate with each other. The failure of communication is where most relationships falter. Relationships should be built on trust, and communication strengthens trust between parties. After the storm, both should take time to talk about what has happened, talk about emotions, talk about needs, talk about expectations, talk about everything that needs to be talked about in order for the relationship to work. 85. Try not to take things personally. This is not going to be easy, especially since a betrayal can often feel like a personal attack. Understand that your partner's betrayal could easily be a personal struggle they are going through and has nothing to do with their relationship with you. Taking things too personally is going to be torturous, so learn to see things from a different perspective and do not always see yourself as a victim. That way, it will be easier for both of you to get through it. 86. Be prepared to answer questions. After a betrayal, expect to face a lot of questions from your partner. They may be evasive, just be patient and take responsibility. Understand that healing will come as a process and that confronting the truth is the first step in moving on and trusting again. If you are bombarded with questions, however difficult they may be, tackle them graciously. Your partner will see your willingness and sincerity through your participation in this. 87. Show humility. This is especially true when you are confessing and asking for an apology. Do not even try to put the blame on your partner. Humble yourself and accept that you have done wrong, and your partner will see your sincerity. 88. Visit a relationship therapist. It is never wrong to admit you cannot do things on your own. Sure, trust can be restored through your own efforts, but you can also make a decision as a couple to see a therapist or counselor. An expert therapist will help give explanations to what has happened, so that you can overcome hurt and pain. With the help of a relationships expert, you can also learn to trust each other again. 89. Learn to forgive and forget. Restoring trust after it is lost can be hard, especially when the image of the betrayal is still vivid in your head. Learn to forgive and teach yourself to forget. Understand that you have chosen to move forward, and dwelling on the past is going to keep you stagnant. 90. Be patient with your partner. This is true for both parties. The responsible partner should be patient with the forgiving partner as to come to terms with what has happened and so meet forgiveness. The forgiving partner should be patient with the responsible partner during their chance to completely renew themselves. The wait can be excruciating, but it is all part of the process. Eventually, your patience will be renewed by the restoration of trust in the relationship. 91. Make your partner your priority. Often trust is lost because priorities are messed up and your partner finds themselves at the bottom of the pile. It can be very painful to be left behind, so if you wish to restore your partner's trust in you, make them your number one priority. 92. Give your partner enough time to think. Both of you have a lot to think about. One person needs to think of the mistakes they have committed, and the other needs to deal with the betrayal. Allow your partner to take time off from the relationship to breathe and make sense of things, and at first, on their own. Give each other space. If it is needed, you will find each other again, eventually. 93. Make long-term plans together. The breaking of trust can really shatter a relationship. Some relationships are not able to make it and fail completely, but some live through the struggle. If you wish to restore trust that was broken, you will have to devote some time to making long-term plans together. Doing this will help build the framework of the relationship that had been broken. It offers security and certainty that both parties can very much rely on. 94. Understand that everyone makes mistakes. No one is perfect, so understand that mistakes can happen. It is not exactly tolerating what was done, but rather allowing room for human error and shortcomings. If your partner is reaching out to you and asking you for a second chance, trust that they are sincere. By offering your sincerest trust in their efforts, you dig deeper and establish something stronger. This will be of value to your partner, something they will remember, for sure. 95. Do not dictate time. This goes for both parties. Both should give each other the chance to heal and move on from what has happened. If you are willing to work on the relationship, do not give ultimatums. You cannot give a time limit to healing or a time limit to being sorry. These things will happen when they are supposed to happen. You cannot hurry things unnaturally. 96. Do not give up right away. Even if your partner expresses their desire to end the relationship, do not accept it. Show your partner that you are willing to work on building the trust again by sticking around even if you are being pushed away. It is human nature for the victim to flee in an effort to save themselves. If you love your partner, do not let go and signify your desire to fight and stay. 97. Celebrate your love on a daily basis. It is easier to get better and feel better about the relationship when you try to focus on the good in the partnership. Make an effort to celebrate your love by doing things that are good for the both of you. It may be cheesy, it may be unnatural and tedious in the beginning, but eventually you will learn to love and trust each other again, just as you did in the past. 98. Stop lying. If you are serious about rebuilding trust in a partner, you have to stop lying, cheating, and deceiving your partner. It is never easy for a partner to forgive and forget, but making the mistake again is going to pick a wound and a hurt that may not have healed yet, so just stop it. If you are going to stop lying and cheating, there is no right time. If you are going to stop anything, it has to stop now. 99. Believe that not all is lost. You once loved each other very much and you once trusted each other with everything. That it failed may be an indication of a rough patch, but it does not necessarily mean total failure. If you want to build the trust again, you can do it, as long as you believe that it is possible. 100. Renew your vows. If you are a married couple who has gone through a chaotic phase in the marriage, the most definitive step you can take to renew trust in the relationship will be to renew your vows. Here, both of you acknowledge a clean slate, the chance to do better and be better. When a person makes a decision to renew vows with their partner, they accept that the relationship is to be given a fresh start and trust can be built once again, after it had been broken.